Hi everyone, Amelia here. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel for the first time. If this is your first time here, I am just getting used to YouTube. It is very new to me, and so I apologize if I seem awkward at all in this video. I'm learning. But anyway, one topic that has become incredibly important to me lately is the topic of budgeting. So if you follow me on Instagram at Healthy Budget Life or Dr. Amelia Patillo, you know that I am at the beginning stages of a debt-free journey. So what does that mean? It means I am putting focus and energy into tackling my debt and my husband's debt, so that we can get out of debt and then we can begin to build wealth and save money and eventually buy a home. But we have a lot of debt. We have combined, we have close to $180,000 in debt to pay off, and we want to do that as soon as we can. And so recently we actually discovered Dave Ramsey. If you don't know who he is, you can look him up. When I first discovered Dave Ramsey, it's so funny, I actually did discover him through, I think, Jenna Kutcher, who is an Instagrammer. And when I first looked him up, I was so turned off by him. For those of you who know him, you know, like, he's very obnoxious, he's very mean, he's just a little bit of, he can be a little bit abrasive, I guess, if you weren't familiar with him. But the more that I watched his videos on YouTube, and I actually follow his daughter Rachel Cruz, find her way less abrasive. She's great, she's very down to earth. Anyway, but the more I watched his videos and Rachel's videos, the more I realized, wow, they lay out this plan. It's called the baby steps, the 7 baby steps. They lay this out, and it is so clear and makes it seem so much less daunting to pay off your debt and start building wealth. So for those of you who don't know, I'll go through the 7 baby steps. The first baby step, number 1, is to build a $1,000 emergency fund. This is so that if anything was to happen while you're paying off your debt, you would at least have some money to cover it if it's an emergency, so that you're not going into more debt. I love that. I never would have thought to do that. I've never had an emergency fund. And so right now we are actually, my husband and I, we are in that baby step 1. We've kind of been doing baby step 1 and 2 at the same time, which I know is a faux pas. But yeah, we are on the baby step 1. So we are saving $1,000. It's in a separate savings account. Each month we're putting a little bit away into that, and then once that is there, then all that money we were putting there is now going to be extra money that we will roll into baby step 2, which is to pay off your debt. And Dave Ramsey, they do it by something called the debt snowball. So what is the debt snowball? You basically list out all your debts, smallest to largest debt, regardless of the interest rate, and you pay that smallest one first, and then you keep making minimum payments on these other ones. And while you, like, once you are done that first one, you cross it off, it's done. You roll all those payments that you were paying on that already into debt number 2. And then once that's paid off, you move on to debt number 3 and 4, 5, if you have that many debts, and then until you're all done. And so we're kind of in that stage 2. We're really close to having our $1,000 saved away, but we're excited about paying off our debts. We've kind of been throwing a little bit more each month into our debts as well. So once you are done baby step 2, which is paying off all your debt, that's a big step. Like, that for us will take us quite a few years, most likely, unless we get really lucky and win the lottery or something. But likely that will take us a couple years. And so baby step 3 then is to, and I think this one is another really good one that I never would have thought to do. I'm just not a financially literate person. But this step is to save 3 to 6 months of expenses. So if anything was to happen, you were to lose your job, or you were unable to work, or for myself, like, I'm self-employed, money's not always I mean, it's somewhat guaranteed, but it's not always guaranteed that it'll be the same amount each month. So if there was any emergencies for my husband and I, got in a car accident, who knows, right? We would have this 3 to 6 months of expenses to live off of. I think we'll probably come somewhere in the middle there. Like we'll probably save up 4 months of expenses. I think that seems realistic. My husband has, he has a full-time secure job. And I mean, some of you might say, well, that's not a guarantee. And I agree. I just think 4 months seems realistic for us to save up for. Okay. And then after that, I'm gonna pull up my phone because I have these listed out, and the rest, sometimes they say you can do the rest of these kind of at the same time. So step number 4 is to save 15% or more of your income to invest for retirement, which is great. Like I'm really looking forward to getting to that step, and actually all that money, like we pay like 30% of our gross income right now between the two of us goes onto our debt. So that's a lot. So once we're out of debt, I think it shouldn't be a problem for us to put 15% away. Step number 5 is to save money for a college fund for your kids. We don't have kids yet, so this isn't a huge priority for us just yet. Also, I don't know how I feel about fully paying for my kids' school. I think it's a great idea. No, I don't want my children to go into the debt that I did, but I also think it's important for them not to be entitled and expect that we will pay. So I don't know, when we have kids, maybe what we'll do is say we'll either match what they raise to put to school, or maybe once they get through school and they complete their degree, we'll pay off their student loans or something like that. We will see when we get there. So far away still. Number 6 is to pay off your house. We don't have a house yet. Ideally, we would probably look to buy a house once we're out of debt. So again, that's down the road for us. And then step 7 is to build wealth and give back. And I love that. I think that no matter where you're at in the 7 baby steps, you can always be giving back, even if it's just not necessarily a monetary value, but with your time. So we have in our budget, we have allocated right now $20 for each of us to donate to a charity or cause of our choice. And I just feel really good about that. I feel like no matter where you are, for us anyway, as income earners, we can always give a little bit. And maybe we should be giving a little bit more, but right now, as we're focusing on paying off our debt, I think any little bit counts. Yeah, so those are the 7 baby steps that we are following. We are very early on. We're in that $1,000. But I wanted to give you, so on my Instagram recently on Healthy Budget Life, I posted 10 ways to save money fast. And this is because we are trying to do this as quick as possible. And so I think there's many ways that you can save money and make a little bit more money to be throwing at your debt. So I wanted to give you those ideas that I have today. Drinking some tea. Okay. So 10 ways to save money fast. First one is one that we have found to be very, very helpful, and that is to make a budget and stick with it. Now, if you know me, you know I have never been good with money. I don't consider myself financially literate. I didn't grow up in a house where we talked a lot about financial things. And so I've had to learn a lot of this on my own, and it's taken me, I am 29, it has taken me 29 years to get there. So it's never too late. You can learn how to be financially literate at any stage of your life. So first one, make a budget. I use the EveryDollar app. That is an app that is by Ramsey Solutions. So Dave Ramsey, who I was just talking about, they've created this app. I love it. I find it really easy to use. There is a free version, and then there is a EveryDollar Plus, I think it's called. We just have the free version. I actually don't even know if the paid version connects to your bank if you're in Canada, but that's kind of the benefit of it, is it'll directly track your transactions from your bank because you connect it to your bank. I actually like the free version better because as we're new in our money journey, we are wanting to track our expenses very meticulously. And so what I find is with the free app, you create your budget and then you track your expenses. So each time you spend money, you're tracking that and you're writing the vendor, you're writing how much, you're writing which, you're putting it into a category. And so for us, that's made us very aware of where our money is going. And that's the first time we've ever felt like this. My husband and I, we've never been aware of where our money is going, which is horrible. But again, like I said, better late than never. So that's number one. So making a budget and sticking to it, you will not only see where your money is going, but you'll also see where you have extra money potentially left over that you can save. And just because you have a budget doesn't mean that you can't have fun money or save for a trip. A budget gives you the ability to save for those things without having to worry about your expenses that you absolutely have to pay. It basically gives you permission to spend money. I mean, obviously wisely, but a budget is personal to you. So if you like to shop, you can have that as a line item in your budget. Maybe you dedicate $200 a month and that's your shopping budget or less. Maybe you don't shop. Maybe you spend money on books. Put that in your budget, right? Like you have that freedom to do that because it's yours, your budget. Okay, so that's been number one, create a budget, stick with it. We've been able to allocate money to our emergency fund and to paying off debt because of our budget. Number two, cook at home. This is a big one. Money, regardless of if you're cooking at home or if you're eating out, food will eat up a large part of your budget. But what I will say is that eating at home is always going to be cheaper. Always, unless maybe you're eating fast food all the time. But if you're someone who's going to restaurants, if you're going and getting a $12 lunch every day, cooking at home will save you so much money. So how we like to do this, we meal plan. So on Sundays, I write out a list of all my budget-friendly meals that I will make that week. And then we have lunches that we can grab and go. And then I have a plan for what I'm gonna cook for dinner. We eat breakfast at home. This saves us probably like $200 to $300 a month. So again, that's money that's going right into paying off our debt. No, you don't have to eat at home all the time. We do have an eating out budget. It's just small. And we know that once we are reaching that top of that budget, we just make the choice to eat at home and not eat out. Okay. Number three, cancel your unused subscriptions and memberships. How many of you have a membership to a gym and don't go? Or go once a month or once every 2 months? That was me. I had a gym membership. It was not that expensive of a gym membership, but I wasn't using it. I was doing workouts at home. I was doing yoga at home. And so that was like $40 a month that I was spending that I shouldn't have been spending. So I canceled it. We also recently just canceled our Crave subscription. That was 22 something, I think, a month. And again, when Game of Thrones was out, we were watching that. We watched His Dark Materials on Crave. But once those shows were done, we didn't use Crave for probably 2 or 3 months. And again, $22 a month, that's like $66 that we wasted. So we canceled that. I was tracking my self-employment income on the QuickBooks app. Didn't really like it, forgot to unsubscribe, was paying $5 a month. Not the end of the world, but again, $5 that I could have saved. So I encourage you to look at your credit card statement, see what gets charged every month, and really take a hard look and think if you need that or if it would be a better idea to just cancel it. Because again, that's just money that you're wasting if you're not using it. All right, number 4, work out at home or outside. If you're a runner, I mean, where it's really nice here today in Victoria, spring is coming and it's a great time if you like to run, if you like to bike, if you like to do parkour, whatever, you can get outside and do your workouts there. YouTube is another great place to find a lot of free workouts. So I personally love doing yoga. I do yoga in the comfort of my living room in my PJs. And I do it with Yoga with Adrienne. She is amazing. I feel like I am in a class every time I do it with her, and it's 100% free. So again, gym memberships can be really pricey. Do you really need it? Can you work out at home? If so, do it. Okay, number 5, make your coffee at home. And there's someone, I forget his name, I will put it in here because I will figure out who it is, but he has something called the latte factor. And basically that is looking at what are you spending money on every single day? Is it a coffee? Is it a latte? Is that costing you $5 every single day? Could you be saving that money instead? So we don't buy coffee out anymore. We make an effort to have our coffee first thing in the morning. We enjoy our coffee in our living room together, and we don't spend nearly as much money as if we were at a cafe getting a latte. Same goes for things like tea, or if you are like me and you like matcha green tea lattes, those are so expensive. I don't know if you can find a matcha latte under $5 anymore here in Canada. Even Starbucks, I think if you get a matcha there, it still comes to like $5.50 or $6. So I make mine at home. I have a milk frother steamer. I add the matcha right to the steaming milk. And it's, again, so much less expensive. So much less expensive. So brew your coffee at home, make your matcha at home, make your tea at home. Okay, number 6, and I need a sip of tea. My voice is getting scratchy. Okay, number 6, walk or bike to your destination instead of driving. So if you are driving, you are not only putting mileage on your car, you are paying for gas, and you are usually paying for parking, depending where you live, especially if you're driving to like a downtown area. So if you can, I know this is not possible for everyone, but for me, I live a half an hour walk away from downtown, or a 5 to 10 minute bike ride. I can do that. It just takes a little bit more effort and a little bit more planning time-wise. But it's free, you're getting fresh air, you're getting exercise, brings you more into the moment of where you are. So a reminder, if you want to save money, bike or walk to that destination. Okay, next one. Sell your stuff on Facebook Marketplace, garage sale, or Poshmark. This is something I've probably been doing now for 2 to 3 years, maybe a little bit more, but it's amazing if you really take a good hard look around your house, how much stuff you don't actually use that is essentially just clutter that has monetary value. Even if it's $5 or $10, a lot of stuff that you don't use, someone else could and would pay money for it. So I encourage you, take an hour out of your day, do a lap around your house, collect things that you know you're happy to part with, that you think someone else would get benefit from. I have sold old mugs for $5 on Marketplace. I have sold sporting equipment, I've sold furniture, I've sold clothing, I've sold random books, I've sold things that I never thought people would buy, and they buy it. Just this week, I think I've made about $100 on Facebook Marketplace from selling things for no more than $10 each. So yeah, if you're looking to save up for that emergency fund, I challenge you to search your house, see what you've got, put it online. Especially clothing. We often think, oh, I should just donate this, which is a great idea because when you donate it, they usually donate the money that they make off it to charity. Great idea. But it's amazing what people are looking for that you might have in your closet that is nice, you just don't like it anymore. Put it on Poshmark, put it on garage sale, put it on Facebook Marketplace. See if you can make some money off of it. Okay, more tea. Sorry, this is taking a long time. We have 3 more things. So number 8, challenge yourself to a no spend week, except for the essentials. So the essentials, rent, bills that you have to pay. I would consider groceries an essential as well. Yeah, anything that's coming out of your account automatically, any sort of car payment, gas, sure, we can call that an essential. But the idea is to, if you can, so little things throughout the day, like say you're eating out, or say you are going for a beer, or say you want to go shopping, have a week where you don't do any of that. See how much money you save. Put that money, that extra money that you saved, right into that emergency fund or right into your debt snowball. It can be hard, so I challenge you to do it with someone. Like if you've got a partner or a friend or a family member who's also trying to save money, challenge them to a no spend week and give each other encouragement throughout the week. And you'll feel really good about yourself. If you make it a game, it makes it that much easier. Okay, number 9, create a digital or a physical product and sell it online. So what do I mean by that? If you are a creative of any sort, or if you're someone who has a skill, be it a hobby, say you make pottery, say you make macrame, say you are a nutritionist, or someone who has a skill that you think people could learn things from, you could create either an ebook, some sort of resource, something like that, post it online, monetize it, sell it, promote it. Or if you had a physical product, post it on Etsy, sell it, eBay, I don't know if anyone uses eBay, Facebook. Again, like I bought our bed that we bought, that was someone local here who is, I don't know if they're a carpenter, but they are really good with woodwork, and they were building beds, these beautiful West Coast rustic looking wood beds and they were selling them on Facebook Marketplace for like 600 bucks. I needed a new bed. I didn't want to go to Vancouver, to IKEA or anywhere like that. I wanted to support someone local. Bought it, and they've made a business. It's kind of like a side hustle, but I'm sure you have a skill that you could monetize. So think about that one. Number 10, increase your hours or client base, or set yourself up to get a raise or get approved for working overtime. Yes, we can save and cut back and cut back and cut back. But what I hear over and over in the debt-free community is that those who really get ahead faster are those who actually increase their income. And so for me, that looks like trying to bring in more patients. For my husband, that looks like maybe getting approved for overtime or working more hours. Eventually down the road, negotiating for a raise. Yeah, so that is number 10. Okay guys, so thank you so much for being here, for listening to 10 ways on how to save money fast. I hope you got some value out of that. I know by doing many of these things, we've been able to save money quicker. And so I think you will be able to. So that's all for today. I would appreciate it if you liked and subscribed. But anyway, I will see you next time. Bye.